Hi everybody, it's Kathy here and we're mixing it up because it's Monday. That's right, we're on a Mix It Up Monday with Tara the Paper Snob and all the other players. And this is the sketch that we've been using for the month of April by Cassandra Tooth. So I decided that I was going to stretch one piece of paper and use it to create the 3 panels on this layout. And I'm going with this beautiful piece from Scrapbook Coach. And it has this amazing diagonal on one side, and I used the plain on the other side for my middle where the mixed media will go today. I've already prepared all my die cuts that I want to use on this layout, and I've also matted my photo already. That's just going to cut down some of the time that you don't need to be watching all the mundane, boring stuff that happens when you're creating a layout. So I am adhering, oops, and you see I just made a mistake there. I actually want that on the other side because I want the stripes on the side of this layout. And I got distracted by that great quote there. And it says, "Not all who wander are lost," and that is so true. So I'm just going to have the 2 stripes down the side like Cassandra's sketch does. And then I'm using that middle panel there to do my mixed media on. I do have a little bit of that grey building showing at the bottom, but it doesn't matter. It's negligible and you don't really notice it on the layout. So I have got a rose gold splatter. I'm going to also put in some black splatter, and I also put in some distress, what's it called? Distress spritz, which is the vintage photo. The rose gold was the Kaisercraft one, and the black was the Dilutions. Now, I usually wait for it to dry, but today I want to get a move on, so I have dried it myself. And then I am going to, as you see there, using my drying mat. And then I have this stencil here that's got lines across it. And in the sketch, there is what appears to be a journaling space. So I'm going to use my ink through this stencil here. And I was actually looking for my black soot, but I couldn't find it. So I ended up sitting and settling with my hickory smoke. And I ended up just running it through the stencil with the actual pad because it's one of those small ones. And hickory smoke is a softer colour, so it worked well. And the reason I put that there, that's going to be where I will journal, but it also looks like what is in the sketch as well. I matted my photos, as I said, and I have balanced them the way I want. Now my photos are bigger than what was in the sketch, but that's okay because the whole idea is to make sketches your own, and that's what I've done here. These photos were of myself at the Queen Victoria building. I'm wanting to say January 2020. I'm pretty sure that's when it was because that's when everybody was wonka mad in Sydney. I'm pretty sure that's when we went to the theatre to see it, just before all the lockdowns. And the car was in the Queen Victoria building, as I said, and I just had to have the photo, of course. So I'm calling this layout Wonka Fever because that's what it was. Everywhere you went, there was a Wonka display somewhere, and the car was perfect. So I have put down the die cut title there, and as I said, I have prepared a whole lot of different die cuts with cogs and clocks and flowers, just to build up the clusters as per the sketch. I also have 2 geotags which I'm going to include in there, marking the spot, so to speak. And I did ink around my die cuts to lift them up off that busy page. And I used the white for that, that's picket fence. So that allowed it to pop up off that busy background. And I've gone with the cogs and the wheels like the car just to emulate that. And I have that car die cut there as well. So I'm just have a few little cogs left that I want to include. So I'm just going to put them down here around the title. I do have that one big one which I end up incorporating in that top cluster when I go to stick it all down, as you can see here. I also found 3 more black cogs that I had in my spare die cuts, and they tied in nicely with the whole layout to bulk it up just beautifully. So what I'm doing now is I'm just adding some accents with my white pen. Because that is a light one there, I did it with black and have gone over with the white, and I'm just putting in the white accents around the die cuts just to give some dimension to them and give them that shine, like they are three-dimensional to look at. So I'm now going to put the white onto the petals of the flowers, and that adds detail to each of those flowers and allows them to pop up off that busy background, as I said. So I'm liking how this has come together. I have used the mixed media. I've used some ink and stenciling. I've used some distressing through splatters, and I just have distressed some of the die cuts with ink. So that's how I've incorporated my mixed media this time around. I'm also going to add some gemstones to this layout. I did to the centers of the flowers, but I will put some little gems onto this in the clusters just to bulk them up and finish off the overall appeal of this layout. And I really do like how quickly and easily this has come together, but how interesting it looks, like how much is in the detail. And I love the fact that, yes, I'm on holidays and I can take the time to create more detailed clusters and more detailed die cuts and things. So that's making a big difference as well. So as I said, I'm adding in these little clusters of gems, and they are in the teal or the turquoisey aqua colour, and I like how this looks overall, picking up the colours from that layout. So I just like, even though it's so busy, you can see by using the colours from the photos still pop, and you are the feature of that layout. And that's all it is really. The key that I found over time is that if my photos are reflected in the colours of my layout, then my photos don't fade into the layout. They actually stand out as heroes on the page. So here it is, another two photos, another memory captured and kept on a page forever, which is great because these photos have been sitting around, like I said, for a while. I'm really pleased that I'm starting to just go back and do older photos and just get them done. I have so many photos. I don't know about you. I'm sure you've got plenty. Leave me a comment down below and let me know where you are. Are you a chronological scrapper, or are you in the moment, whatever takes your fancy scrapper? I am sad to say I'm a in the moment, whatever takes my fancy scrapper. And so that's why my children say I need to live to 1,000 because I will never get my photos done. So here you see is the cluster down here to the left-hand side of that top photo and here to the bottom right. I just love how all those colours blend so beautifully with the papers, and they have come together so nicely on this layout. This is a very great sketch to work with. It's got a lot there. You can make it as busy as you like or as simple as you like. And I love how this has turned out. Now we have a whole list of people playing. So don't forget to go check out the playlist that I have linked down below. Tara does a great job in coordinating us every month. And I must say, I am looking forward to going and watching what other people have created. Thanks once again for watching. Happy scrapping till next time. And here is my next video. So see you over there soon.